This video is going to be me talking about assets like stocks, crypto, and commodities on a higher time frame level, which means the monthly and the weekly time frame. I'm doing this video right now, it's because we just had the close of the month of July. So I am going to see what is the direction that the next few months is going to be. Right, I'll try to forecast it, and hopefully it would be useful for long-term investors or long-term position traders out there. Okay, now let's start off with the ones on my watch list. I'm just going to go through them rather quickly because on higher time frames there's usually nothing much to comment about. Alright, so the monthly time frame for Amazon, ignore this candle here because this candle is the current month of August. We're going to look at the month of July. Alright, so far we are still in a bullish order flow. We are still making higher highs, but right now we have taken out this swing low right down here. I have one criteria for Amazon if it is to continue going higher. To me, it should not close below this swing low. That's number one. Number two, it should not close below this up close candle. Best case scenario, it's going to close above this up close candle's low. Okay, as long as it does not close below this low here, I'll stick to the bullish analysis. However, if we get one of those violated, then we are probably going into short-term discount. So what is a short-term discount? Short-term discount would be from this swing low to the current high. Anything below 50% is considered discount. Okay, so we have lots of inefficiencies down here. This is a volume imbalance, and right down here we have a inefficiency, fair value gap with a down close candle. This is the very last down close candle that led to this move up here that took up this highs here. So to me, this down close candle should not be violated, which means your invalidation for overall bullish order flow would be this swing low. Next up we have Google. Similar to Amazon, it's still bullish. There is this fair value gap right here, which I would like to see it respect in order to go higher. To me, this order block and this swing low would be the invalidation for the bullish order flow. Okay, as long as we are above and we are respecting this fair value gap, we should go higher. Tesla, overall we're still consolidating within this dealing range high to this low. Right here, as you can see, we are trading back into the 50%, down into the 25%, and then up again into 50%. Just ping pong around this range here. Nothing much to comment about. Overall, we are in the accumulation for Tesla. For Palantir, I've marked out the last up close candle that made all-time lows. Okay, so right now we are trading into the 25% of the up close candle here. I want to see if we can continue to trade higher into the 50% and maybe into this rejection block right here. However, in order for that to happen, this swing low here should be kept intact. And we can take out this swing low, but I don't really want to see price closing below these two up close candles. Okay. Next up we have Meta. Quite similar to Amazon and Google. Anyways, they are all tech stocks, right? I have highlighted a potential bullish breaker that price can utilize later on if it wants to send the price higher. So why is this a breaker? We have relative equal lows, we have this high that took out these lows, and then price closing back up above this high. So this to me is your bullish breaker. I also want to say that not all bullish breakers works. It all depends on the environment that you're in and the time of the year right now, because we are talking about the monthly chart. Okay, next up we have Nvidia all-time highs, price discovery, nothing to comment. Netflix right now, because we are really close to this all-time highs, I would really like to see price respect this down close candle here to take out this high. My main concern is that we have traded into the rejection block. So rejection blocks are enough to validate a stop hunt. So in classic theory, you might see stop hunts as running swing highs and swing lows, right? But in ICT concepts, even if it just runs into the rejection block, that is all it needs to validate that as a stop hunt. Okay, so just have to keep in mind about this level here. Right now, as you can see that we are respecting that. So overall still bullish unless we take out this low here, then pretty much I think we are going to go into a consolidation, but let's see, a few more months to go. Okay, for Nike right here, price is obviously bearish. We have created a rather large bearish fair value gap. So to me, I think once we trade up above into the 25% or the 50%, that's a good shorting opportunity with stops above this swing high, targeting this low here and this lows here. These are your relative equal lows. This is for Nike. Apple, same thing as other tech stocks, all-time highs, price discovery, no comments. AMD right now we are reaching into this down close candles. This down close candles should support the price to go higher. This swing low is the invalidation for higher prices. And so actually right now, I mean, if you are a long-term trader or a long-term investor, you're looking to open a position in AMD, personally I think it is a good risk to reward, but I am not giving financial advice. Okay, my invalidation levels would be here, this swing low 93.12, any prices at 0, which is 132.83 and 25% and 50%, 1, 2, 3, these three levels are good points for accumulation with your stops at number 1. Okay, so this is the fib for this consecutive down close candles, which I would be utilizing them as bullish order blocks, because this order block is the one that took out this all-time highs. Okay, next up we have Intel. Intel, similar to Nike, looks bearish. We have traded up all the way to this fair value gap, and then we rejected off of it right at the 50%, taking out this lows here. I believe it's going to continue running lower into this relative equal lows down here and probably taking out this low as well. This whole consolidation here, there are lots of stops below this lows. Okay, so this is for Intel. Next up, Microsoft, similar to all the other tech stocks, but I've marked out this down close candle here. If it is going to do like a one more push higher, this order block should provide that push. But if it does not, then I would rather stay on the sidelines or look for this inefficiency to be filled, this feather gap right here. Next up with Coinbase. Coinbase, similar to Bitcoin, we have traded up into this up close candle here, all the way into the 50%, and price is struggling to trade higher. That is what I can see from the current price action here. We are consolidating at the lower half of this bearish order block. Now this is not a good sign for reversals, because mainly for reversals you want to see parabolic price action, because they should not be allowing these stops up here to cut their losses. All right, so right now no bias for Coinbase, because we are in a accumulation, right? Best support would be this down close candle here. You can use the fibs as well, and you don't want to see this swing low taken out. Next we have Visa. To me, Visa, it looks like it wants to drop lower. Okay, there are two things why I would think that way. We are closing below this up close candle. That's number one. Number two, we are closing below this bullish family gap, right? So to me, we have this inefficiency down here with this swing low. With this low. I think this is a bait. They are going to maybe push it one more time higher, and we are eventually going to come down into this inefficiency. That's for Visa. And what happens after we come down? We should continue to go higher unless we take out this low. Okay. Next up we have Home Depot. I don't like how we have relative equal lows down here coupled with the trend line. Okay, this to me is liquidity below. We have right now taken out swing highs, equal highs right here. Let's see if it wants to reverse to go lower. I've annotated the last up close candle that took out the last swing high before this move lower and consolidation. So right here, as you can see, it has respected the 75% level, and then let's see, overall it's still consolidating within this bearish order block, which is not the best price action to analyze or to derive a bias from. Okay, moving on, we have some China stocks. Let's take a look at NIO. It's very interesting here to me. As long as we are okay, once we close below this swing low, we are going all-time lows. Okay, so this swing low comes in around 3.61. If we close below the swing low, we are going price discovery to the downside. JD, similarly, I've always been bearish for China stocks ever since the second half of last year, right? But anyways, right here you can see that we have taken out, no, we have not taken out anything, but we have traded into this up close candle here with this fair value gap, and price is rejecting quite strongly. My target is right down here, because this lows 1, 2, 3 looks too smooth. Stop losses are all down here, and I'm thinking that they are going to run the stops. Next, Luckin Coffee. I've marked out the last up close candle before the drop lower. I've preferred to use this candle. Wait, let me see. Yeah, I prefer to use this candle because these up close candles are the ones that took out this swing high here. So instead of this candle here. Okay, so right now we are more like consolidating, not going anywhere. Look at this candles range, it's getting smaller. Okay, so nothing for Luckin Coffee. Tencent, one of the more bullish Chinese stocks, but if you look at the price action for this chart here, it doesn't seem too clean. What does it seem like it wants to reach for any particular direction? So no comment. Similar to Tencent, we have Alibaba right here. Same thing, it does not look like it wants to go anywhere. The price, if you take a look at the candles range, they are really small as compared to the past few years. So I think it's taking its time. It's building up more orders down here, and eventually it's going to run down into 57.2, making new all-time lows with NEO, right? So that's just my bias. SE, because we have closed above this down close candle, I would like to stay bullish unless we close back down below 50% of this down close candle. Okay, right, so that's pretty much done. Let's take a look at crypto. Bitcoin, so far nothing for Bitcoin. Let me just remove the annotations. Okay, so we have traded multiple times into this fair value gap, but what I'm looking at is this inversion fair value gap right here. Okay, so I don't want to see any price closing back below the inversion fair value gap, because that would mean that we are going to reverse and go lower. Okay, as long as we are above the inversion fair value gap, I think it's good to go higher. That is for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, it's more of a mess. Right, so Ethereum, if you look at over here, we have this inversion fair value gap. We have closed above, but right now it's closing below again, and it's closed above again, closing below again. So for me, Ethereum is quite a headache to, if you want to trade, it's quite a hassle, right? It will involve a lot of up and downs, and it's not very accurate. So no comments for Ethereum. Gold, all-time highs, nothing to say here. Crude oil, consolidation still, but look at this relative equal lows, and look at how it is unwilling to trade above this up close candle that took out this swing high. Okay, yeah, next, nothing to say. Right, so for here, what is this? This is wheat futures. Okay, I'm thinking that we are going to be bearish. These two up close candles is your bearish order block. It has taken out this swing high, and then price has closed back down below the last two up close candles. Okay, so for near term targets, obviously it would be this lows down here all the way. This to be trend line lows, they are all liquidity below, so it might just do something like this, trade higher, and then all the way down in one swoop. Low resistance liquidity runs. Okay, next up we have soybean futures. Looks bearish as well so far. high, higher high, low that made this high, breaker, fair value gap, price trades back up into the fair value gap and the breaker combo and rejects lower. So it's respecting bearish PD raise so far. Okay, and if you take a look at the speed right here, in this case you are going to wait for a up close candle. Even if you want a short, it's safer to wait for an up close candle. Okay, and yeah, that's basically it. And I hope you enjoyed this session here, and I'll talk to you again. Hope that this has been helpful. If you want me to cover any specific stock tickers, do leave them in the comments section down below. Maybe I can do it in the next month's review. Okay, and that's it. Signing out now.